Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
Witnessed a seizure at work, but I don't think I reacted well. Now feeling extremely guilty. Apologies if this isn't okay to post it here or seems insensitive. I don't have epilepsy, but I am a manager of a restaurant. There is an employee with epilepsy who I've worked with for about a year, and she's never had an issue at work until now. I could tell she wasn't okay as soon as she started working. She just looked pale and shaky, but she insisted she was fine. A few hours in, I got called by a chef into the smoking area, and she was seizing on the floor. We'd had a discussion about what to do if she had one, but honestly, I just froze. She hit her head, and there was blood, so I phoned the ambulance. She didn't stop fitting for almost 8.5 minutes. There was so much foam around her mouth. I turned her on her side, but I'm not sure she was breathing properly. There was just so much blood too. She was unconscious for about 5 minutes, but then she went into another seizure that seemed more violently than the first. I just held her head as she was on the concrete and turned her on her side. I just stroked her hair and spoke to her, but I don't think she could hear me. The ambulance came and took her away, but I haven't heard anything since then. This was yesterday afternoon, and it's now the next morning, and still nothing, which I'm finding very worrying. The fact that she had two, and I'm not convinced she was breathing properly, is making me worry about the worst. I'm feeling guilty, and I should have just sent her home when I first noticed she didn't seem right. I should have been more clear on the first aid to provide. From what I described, do you think she will be okay? The paramedics described it as status epilepticus or something, and I've looked that up, and it doesn't sound promising for her at all. What could I have done differently that I can improve on?
I would love to have this person as my boss because they give a shit.
Yeah,
Like,
they do.
everything they did was exactly what you need.
100%. Right.
There's no way to really help besides just making sure that
They don't
we're
hurt
on our side
themselves more,
and they don't hurt themselves.
and they don't die from not being able to breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
But so they did everything right, and I feel like they're just overanalyzing the situation. So when they do hear back from this person is going to go, "Hey, you did everything perfectly. Thank you so much."
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and to help take guilt off this person, my friend is an RN nurse and she froze when she saw me have a seizure. And they see them all the time, but she froze when she had me. So don't feel guilty about it, you know. It happens.
It's a scary
It
thing. It's
yeah.
you freeze because it's a scary thing. Yeah. Don't feel bad or beat yourself up. Just tell her, when you get a hold of her, you want her to feel better, give her enough time to recover. Because if she had status, it's going to take a little bit. And yeah, it isn't promising, but I'm sure that she is alive or you would have heard something by now. Okay, so calm down, deep breaths. You did a great job as a boss. And just because you froze for a minute doesn't mean anything, right, guys? Everybody freezes at first, even if they've seen it before and are your loved ones. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, what's happening?"
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Seems like it to me.
Yeah, I think the person did everything you could do as a boss. So,
The checking in after the fact also, like, props to that person, like, just checking in with other people who aren't even that person, like, did I do everything okay? Props to that boss. Absolutely.
yeah, one of the comments is, had you sent her home, she might have been alone when the seizure started, which would have been even worse. Another comment says, you did everything right. She's probably in critical condition and likely will be for a while. Are you able to call and check on her? Check on her status with the family member or the hospital? I know it was probably extremely scary, but I don't see where you went wrong in any way. Yeah, there's a lot of those. You did everything right. Next says, do you play this guessing game if you're the family member of somebody with epilepsy? Read this if you need to laugh. My husband has epilepsy. He is on 3 medications, and his memory is not the greatest. Sometimes he can't think of a certain word. Last night, we were both laughing hysterically. He was trying to tell me that our new neighbor across the street was outside doing something. He couldn't think of the word that the neighbor was doing. I kept guessing, washing his car, mowing his lawn, watering his plants. He kept saying wooden and wheels. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what is made of wood and has wheels. Wheelbarrow. Can you guess what it was? Skateboarding. Only a few people in this group will find this funny. Anyone have any similar stories? No. Oh, Sailor Mom, you're in the comments here. This was 11 months ago. I'll read your comment if you can't remember. Let me know if you remember.
I don't remember. Please go right ahead.
It says, my doctor has this noted in my file as severe aphasia. I work like crazy to get the other 6 people in my house to understand me. Cute, but also a bit sad as my vocabulary was huge before my first known grand mal. I read thousands and thousands of books from 11 to 44, but I struggle to get through even one book now. The frustration of not finding the best word to find the best word or the answer is like a tiny hurricane of rage inside me as I struggle for the perfect word. However, I lose sad bagels as an alternative to donut. That's great. Good to know we're all in here in the same floaty thing that goes on water. Just kidding, but it's like that.
I did call them sad bagels because I couldn't remember what they were called, and that is sad. I I've done this a lot actually. It's really, yeah, I hate that. It's one of the worst. Anybody else have that particular problem? Not finding.
That's
Yeah,
different.
I have problems like that. At my daughter's birthday party last 2 months ago, May. Um, we were talking, and I was talking to the daycare people, and I forgot what I was going to say. I just learned to say, let's move on with the conversation. I'll probably remember what I meant to say in like 10 minutes or 20 minutes from now, and I'll tell you then.
Yeah, one of the comments here says, my fiance does this all the time, often to a fault where I ask him to stop guessing and let me brainstorm for a second. LOL. He apologizes, and I know he's just trying to help me, but often it makes me lose the word faster. LOL.
Does anybody ever try and describe the word that they're looking for? That's usually my go-to when I have my
Yes.
aphasia. I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there trying to describe the word that I'm looking for, and everyone's like, "What the hell are you doing right now?" Like, I don't know the word.
The word,
Yeah,
yes.
I did that once.
Like,
I
oh,
do
this
that to my husband all
this
the time.
water is not hot. What's the word? Not hot. What is it? I can't. Yeah.
I was trying to say the word belittle once, and I couldn't think of it for anything. So I'm like,
Get small.
Here's my phone. This is what I was doing. I was belittling myself.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't say belittling, but I showed her what I was doing. I'm like,
Another comment here says, I was diagnosed late in life, so my teens like to stare at me warily as I struggle to find words, then politely ask me if I'm having a stroke. Dark sarcasm runs deep in this family. I replied that I need to go shopping because I'm low in words.
I like that one.
Hmm. Someone said the word I needed was prove. All I can think of was prudent and nothing else. Sorry, you guys. Okay. It says, this is the next one. It says, anybody else having trouble finding words you want to say when you're having a conversation? I have been taking Lamictal for the past 5 years. For the past 2 years, I have noticed that when I'm talking to someone, I frequently forget words or completely forget what we were talking about. It's really embarrassing at times, especially during job interviews. Does anyone else have the same issues? If so, how do you deal with it? I let them know, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's the epilepsy. I got bad memory. Throw all that out there first before I saying, yeah. So I'm sorry, bad memory. Don't get shy, or sometimes people can get annoyed with themselves. I know, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
good
I think it's
times.
better to admit it
Yeah,
rather than to try to play it off.
feels better admitting it.
For sure.
Keep your thoughts simple. Because
There
I
you
think
go.
a lot of times we start off with one sentence and then try to veer off into another and then forget where we're going. So,
yep.
and then we start doing this. We go, okay, this is the end of my, yeah, all right. And we start mumbling like this. Yeah,
What was I talking about?
right, exactly, right.
Really, where am I?
So, yeah, keep it simple.
Okay, one comment says all the time. I can't think of that word. It slipped my mind or a brain fart, depending on my audience. Or someone said, yes, I'm also on the Lamictal when this happens to me. I just try and slow down and pause for a second. Can be awkward, but it's okay. And it usually comes back to me. I think of a word. If not, I just say, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Pretty much what I said. What's the biggest misconception about epilepsy? From experience, it's that every epileptic is photosensitive when in reality, it's a very low percentage. First comment says that all seizures are convulsive.
That
Misconception besides the shaking.
that everybody gets an aura first.
You get that from people with epilepsy.
How about that you're okay
People
if you're
do.
not
Or your
actually seizing?
doctors will often really push you on it. Are you sure you didn't feel something? Are you sure there wasn't something? Did you smell, and they'll really, really push that. Anyway, just saying.
Weird when someone with epilepsy asks me, "You sure you get that?" Yeah, of course I get that. Nobody wants to have bad memory or some shit like that. But
Wait, what was
that's
it
just-
you just said? Huh?
right. They hate
Actually,
that.
on that note, sorry, I had to make a joke. I'm gonna head out. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Love you all. I will
All
see you
right.
Friday.
All right,
Later.
Brandon.
Hey,
Later,
Brandon.
everyone.
Good night. Rest up.
Now I
Glad you're
gotta hit
okay.
leave me. Oh, I'm totally fine. Pokey's the one to be worried about.
Oh,
I'm
I was
good.
worried about both of you. 17-year-old saving you and Pookie being in the hospital.
It was so weird. He just handed me a $20 bill and walked away. And as I turned and went, "Hey man, I don't." He was already gone and just was ignoring me. I was like, you know what? He gave me a free $20 bill. Fuck yeah.
Maybe
Good
he
kid
thought
right
you
there.
needed an Uber home and didn't have the cash for it.
Maybe.
Who
I don't
knows?
know. Eh, it was a
Or whatever.
funny experience. But yes,
But
I will let it.
a sweet experience because teens are
Sweet.
not always that sweet.
Yes,
Very
exactly.
nice.
All right.
Anyway.
Everybody have a great rest of your night. I'm exhausted. I will talk to you all soon. Later.
Right. And then there were 6.
What was the question again? Then I'm being real this time.
What's the biggest misconception about epilepsy?
Um.
Other than people shake. That's the
Okay.
easy one
Other
out.
than that,
Let's see.
I mean, I would just say that there's one type of seizure.
Yeah.
So I think there's just one type of seizure now. And
Yeah, I
the
like that one.
photosensitivity. Yeah, I would go with those.
I don't think people normally think that we make noise. Do you guys think that it's represented as? I think usually it's somewhat silent when it's represented in movies and things. And I know I'm not silent. I don't know about you guys, but
I
Yeah, I'm
think the
pretty much
biggest
got a
misconception
long
is
fall, so you're gonna hear that much.
Well, my legs kicked pretty violently when I had my clonic seizures. I was conscious though, and I would, you know, I'd be heard like that, but not that violently, but violent enough to disturb people. You know that.
enough that people knew.
But yeah, they didn't know it was a seizure though.
Right, but they could hear it. They could, yeah.
They thought I was just being a jerk and kicking them.
So terrible. I'm so sorry.
No, no, but that's the exact point. I mean,
Right,
and,
because
and
misconception.
that's
It
that's
is
my
pretty funny.
biggest misconception is people think it's not that serious.
Yeah,
Seizures are not that
that
serious.
too, right? They don't think it can kill you. Certainly not.
Rick, did you have something?
Yeah, Rick, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. That if you're not actively having a seizure, you're doing okay. I think that's a big misconception. Especially the why are you tired? Why can't you remember? Why are you acting like that?
Mine was 2 days ago, and I'm still tired.
I hate the why you acting like that.
Right.
Right, I was supposed to be good when I left the hospital, but yeah, yeah. People suck. I just say that all the time. A lot of them.
I used to say
I
if
ain't
you're
say all
lucky.
of them.
What's that,
Jenny
Rick?
Graham.
When people said, people suck, I used to say if you're lucky.
Uh, Got one. Says, can a grand mal seizure be considered a near-death experience? I had a grand mal seizure and went to respiratory arrest and haven't been the same ever since. I've had seizures before, but nothing like this. My whole personality changed. Literally everything did. I don't feel the same person. It's weird. I had to learn to do things again and how to keep liking the same things. Everything is so different. Even things I didn't like, I'm liking these things now. I feel like I died and was born again. The question is, can a grand mal seizure feel like a near-death experience? Uh, I feel like when I woke up and walk into the ambulance, that's a near death when you just don't know what's going on for I don't know how long that was going on. I wasn't there, so I wouldn't. That's kind of a near death experience.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially if you're hitting your head, if you're hitting your head, who knows what can happen? You know, it can change you. It can change what you may like. So
And if you had what sounds like SUDEP, then you probably did have some amount of brain damage. And I'm not saying like, you're not intelligent anymore or whatever, but it might have changed some of your neurological pathways. They might have rerouted around the damaged areas, therefore kind of changing things a little for you. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. It can feel like a near-death experience, and it sucks, but it's the truth. I don't want to lie.
I mean, if not physically, then certainly emotionally, it can be, it's very emotionally traumatic. I mean, I hear a lot of very young people having these, and it was very scary for me as when I was first having these. It wasn't so scary, later on, in my teens and such, but yeah, like I really thought that I was dead, my first couple seizures. So, but I guess those pathways changed, and I just, yeah, you're right. People do change like that, but it's very emotionally distressing.
any grand mal can pretty much be your last.
That's true.
Right.
And it can change just a little bit of something, and
Mhm.
I mean, that doesn't have to be a terrible thing, right? You might take up a hobby that you never thought of before, something like that. You don't have to look at it as a bad thing necessarily, but if the question is yes, can it feel like a spiritual death and rebirth or feel like an actual death and rebirth and change things about you? I think we all agree that that's possible,
Yes.
if not likely, in a situation like that where you've been revived or at least in a coma-like situation, right? I mean, Angel, you've been in a coma, yes? Is that not true? Or I know Annie has. Anybody else? Oh, I don't know. I mean, they were going to intubate me and put me in an induced coma, and my husband wouldn't let them because I had been statusing for so long. But yeah, I certainly felt like I didn't know where I had been for about 12 hours.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Got a
I
comment.
gotta go. Good night, guys.
All right,
See
you
you
have a good
Friday.
night.
Thanks everybody else. Bye.
All right,
All
bye,
right, Big
Jeff.
Jeff.
Bye.
and and then there were 5.
Yes. One of the comments says, same thing happened to me in September. I study the brain, so I get what's going on, but it's not making it any easier to have massive memory issues, motor function problems, emotional connection issues. The last one I had around 15 years ago, I completely cut out an addiction, legal, I had. Cold freaking turkey. Never wanted one again. Never thought about it, never craved it. These seizures are amazing, even if they are horrifying.
Hmm.
Interesting way to look at it.
Ah, see? There you go. Like I said, it's not always bad, right?
Someone said, I'd say yes. If anything, it can show how certain life is. I also think that it showed what death is like. Like that. Another interesting way to look at it. One more says, all I remember from mine is that I don't remember anything. It's just dark. If I wake back up, I wouldn't even know. There's just no existence. It's pretty much what it's like. Next one says, do you guys ever feel like seizures? Do you ever feel seizures in your head that you know would be happening if you weren't on meds? I know this sounds weird, but I really have no better way to explain it. Sometimes, if I have really bad barometric migraine or don't get enough sleep, both of which are triggers for me, I will feel like precursor stuff. So I randomly lose feelings in my hands, zone out, etc. I will get this throbbing in my head and feeling, and I know that if I wasn't on my medication, I didn't have a barrier. I would be seizing. I was just wondering if anyone else goes through the same things. Someone in the comments says, yep, I feel quite seisurey, but feel the meds stopping any actual seizure action. That I do not. I take my pills. I don't feel my pills taking down any seizure action because I feel like that would happen if you take them right when you need to take them, like right before you're going through it. But yeah, I don't go through that. Take them on time, 12 hours apart, and I don't have to go through that. I mean, I still get those vibes where I'm like, am I going to have a seizure? But it's just normal, everyday epileptic stuff.
But if you weren't on your regular meds, it probably would be a seizure, is I think what they're trying to say. Do you ever feel like you have something in your head that's saying, I would have a seizure if I wasn't on something? Because I know that I have exactly where it comes from, and I can feel that son of a gun. And it will sometimes do a
That
weird,
little voice.
like it does like an electrical storm that turns into a smaller electrical storm, and it'll come across the other side. And I'm like, please, please don't get bigger, because if you get bigger, I know what's going to happen. And I know that the only thing stopping it is either the regular medications or a rescue med or
Yeah.
cannabis or, something else, right? It's not, oh, look at that. Cool. I'm sorry.
One
I
time on the
go into
podcast,
babies.
I felt like an electric current, like going through the middle, like of my head, going through the, like, near my spine. And I got really scared because that reminded me of the first cluster right away. And I'm like, no, I took my nasal right away.
I like that lightning metaphor. That's very good.
That's
Oh,
what it feels like to me. I mean,
Yeah, that's what
it's
my first neurologist described it to me and my parents. I was 14 at the time anyway. Um, he said it was like a lightning storm starting in one side of my head, going all over. through the other side of my head.
That's what I remember it feeling like. Like everything just the myoclonics just like it's shooting down the body and just like a lightning strike, you know.
That's
And it
kind of
would,
what it is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Over
well,
electrical stimulation.
yeah, basically, like almost, yeah, yeah. And it would more and more lightning strikes until it would become uh, a tonic-clonic or something. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
And I guess
just
for some people, it strikes, if it's striking in different areas, it's triggering different like symptoms where it might cause like absent seizures or myoclonics or who knows what else, you know?
Rick, you got anything for that one?
Um, I mean, I kind of feel like so I will know when I'm like teetering and I'm like, okay, I feel the electric sparks. I feel something's going on. So I'll remove myself from a situation. So with me, it's definitely heat and exertion will push. So I will stop what I'm doing and either I'll take a cold washcloth and put it on my neck, or I'll run cold water, splash my face, or I'll drink really, really cold water and shut off the lights so it's dark, get praying, and I've managed to get out of it. I'll still have an aura or like a low aura, but definitely I feel like I've stopped it. I don't know necessarily if the medication helps with that or not because I've been able to do that without medication. Of course, at the time, I didn't know I was actually having seizures. Um, so I feel like the medication probably helps with that more now. And also, I'm aware of what my triggers are. Um, on the same token, when I do have tonic clonics, that's it. Nothing's stopping that. Sally, you're on mute.
If I don't catch it quick, it's, there's no help for it. It's coming.
Some people don't have that like chance to catch it
I
quick.
know, and
Hmm.
I've had the kind where I did not have any moment to catch it, and learning to feel those tiny signals is hard. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you don't, even if you don't have a seizure diary, or even if you do, sometimes just reading those tiny signals, and then sometimes it just doesn't give you any damn signals, does it?
Hmm. Right.
And it's
Yeah,
even
Mark's
harder
not.
for the ones that people who like their focal points change.
Just like the brain rewiring around the damage, your focal
Mhm.
points can
Yep.
change. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
see see that's another problem is I if I don't have any auras, usually if I have auras, they take many minutes or almost like a half hour to lead up. They did at least. They could take like almost 4 hours to maybe like a half hour to lead up to a seizure. Sometimes it could take all day. So, from when I would wake up, but it would be like 4 hours of myoclonic seizures sometimes. Um, but sometimes there would be no auras whatsoever, and I would wake up from the seizure and have no memory of what. So, like, what would I write down? Well, what? How would I record such a seizure? I mean, uh, that I mean,
You don't know when it started. You don't know when it stopped. You don't know what was happening, right? And I'm sorry about my dog.
I don't
That's
know.
when you
That's
get
that,
a man can.
yeah, I mean, those were the most terrifying ones where you just, like we're just talking here, and I would just you're talking to someone, and then you just wake up, and yeah, in the post-ictal stage. And those were those were scary. I
Yeah,
hated those ones.
they are scary. I walked in a
The
truck stop
absence.
gas station because I told my family I was starving while we were traveling in the middle of my last batch of clusters. And I got down the jerky aisle, and I very well remember looking down the jerky aisle. Not that I was looking for that, but I was just walking into the store. And I remember stopping in the middle of the jerky aisle and that my eyes just fading out. And that was the last thing I remember. And I was told that my older son came and dragged me out of the store. But like seriously, my husband's berating me that I could have been kidnapped by a trucker or so, and I'm like, and how is this my fault? Like, I didn't have any warning. Like, I went inside to get some food, like I'm supposed to do, right? And but you do feel bad, like, uh-oh, I did a bad thing. The guilt.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing. I want to say, like the absence seizures, you might just be staring at something, but if nobody knows they're absent seizures, those things are opening up neural pathways leading to bigger seizures, and that will go into a tonic clonic. And I think those are like harder, especially since some of them are hard to catch too.
I think my last one like that, it was, hey, see, that's enough. I was at the bottom of the stairs waiting for him to come in from his doggy door, and I just felt a little funny. So I said, well, I'll just sit on the stairs while I wait for him. I'm tired. And then I guess my husband woke me up teetering on the edge of the single pane glass window. It's like twice the size of my body on like a 6-inch windowsill. And I was not with him. So, God dang it, Banksy, be quiet. Anyway, yeah, that was really scary. There was no real aura. I just was like, I should sit on the step.
The little fella is angry.
Part Chihuahua.
He
Yeah.
reminds me. He
Yes, he
reminds me
That's
of
is.
my
that's where
dog.
the anger comes from.
Dachshund and Chihuahua. And he's watching the neighbor collect her feral cats to feed, and he gets mad when she does that. And he gets mad because the deer come through the backyard with their twins all the time. And he wants to go out there and chase them and be friends. They don't want to be friends. They want to stomp him to death. He doesn't understand. I just want to play. Huh?
We should rename him Chewini because I like that name.
I got something new. Says I'm scared of dying from a seizure. I know it's rare, but every time I wake up from one, which is like once maybe 4 to 5 years, but this morning I woke up extremely scared. Legs were sore. Maybe I had a seizure when I woke up. I don't know, but I get emotional afterwards. Also, doesn't help that I ran 6 miles yesterday, so that's a possibility of why my legs are sore. Am I the only one that's terrified of my epilepsy? First response is, I think the question is is there anyone who isn't terrified of their epilepsy? And to that response, I say I'm not afraid of it, terrified anymore. Terrified is the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah, I think like me and you, Pookie, and Kevin, and all the people who've gone multiple years with it, we uh, we've I can't think of the word, um but we um we learned,
Accepted?
and
Reconciled?
yeah, we accepted it. And yes, we're still scared, but at the same time, like for me, I know God is with me, and if this is God's plan, then I'm going to accept that too. Yeah.
Nice. Rich, you got something?
Yeah, so I've come to terms with it, and sometimes I'm pissed off, but I wouldn't say I'm scared. Um, it is what it is, and I'm fortunate. Mine are pretty much controlled, I believe. Um, might have some focals here and there, but I could take that. I'm more pissed off I can't drive than anything else. But yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm scared of it. If I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go, and you know, God has His plans for me. However it goes, it goes. But right now, I feel you know I'm able to talk with you guys. I'm able to offer assistance to people. I'm able to work. I'm able to work with my family. So I feel you know, like I said, I'm not terrified. I'm just kind of ticked off at certain aspects of it.
And another one of these comments says, I'm scared too. Oh, hold on. Why did it skip like that? Okay, someone here says, absolutely not alone. Every time I had TCs, I felt like I was legitimately fighting for my life. It's discomforting to come back to reality for at least the rest of the day, like narrowly escaping the other side. So sorry about your distress and recovery. Do you think electrolytes or get some natural ones from sea salt or coconut water? Make sure you rehydrate after so much exercise today and get enough nutrients to recover. Hmm. All right, another one. Something similar for some reason. It says, in hospital, please tell me I'm not going to die. I'm maxed out on Keppra, having breakthrough seizures. Signed, signed a want to keep, signed a want to be kept alive paper now. The nurse told me I was unresponsive for 30 minutes and do I want to be revived if I pass out? What can I do, someone, to stop these seizures? They're giving me IV Ativan, not working either. I don't think you're gonna die. I think that Ativan might be needed. I take it for headaches when they give it when they offer it. Thoughts, you guys? Good thing you want to be alive.
Listen, if you want to be alive, take it. And yeah, it may not be working, but they're going to come up with something else to add as a combo to help keep you alive if it's really not. I mean, for reals. They're not going to let you keep seizing because it's dangerous for them and their insurance, right? You're in the hospital. All right, did I get that right? You're in the hospital?
Yep.
Okay, well, take this stuff, and if it's really not working, mention it to the nurses so they can put it in the chart if they haven't noticed already. And be nice. And if you get to talk to a doctor, tell them it's not working so well. Is there something they can add to it? That's all I got. I'm sorry. It
If
sucks when
if
to be
Kepra's not
medication resistant is the pits.
if you're maxed out on Kepra, it's time to change the
Oh,
medication.
for sure.
Yeah,
And if they're
yeah,
doing a pump on you in the hospital for the Ativan to keep you from seizing, then you should have already been checked
yeah.
to a different medication or like comboed to something else. Whatever.
I have some neurologists where we see the seizures start ramping up, and it's like, all right, let's start getting him to a new medication before we get to the point where, you know, he's having them too fast before, like let's cut it off before, like cut off. Let's I'm trying to think of what's let's cut off the problem. Let's solve the problem first before we get to the serious point. Let's not get at the serious point.
One of the comments here says Kepra clearly isn't working for you. They need to wean you off to a lower dose, probably. Add in a few medication with monitoring. Talk to your neurologist and epileptologist. Remember, we are warriors. Be strong. Another comment says, hang in there. I was in the hospital for over 10 days once, and I had to be kept in an induced coma because every time they tried to wake me up, I started seizing. Being in the hospital sucks, but you'll get through this. That's what I gotta say. Keep your head up. Doctors, they mess up a lot, but they know a lot as well. Yeah, they've got me through some times. As much as we might hate them and think they're, you know, the wrong person every time and trying to do the wrong thing that we do not suggest, they have the certificates. Another comment says, seem like Kepra isn't working for you at all, and your seizures are from some other source. Good luck to you. I feel you. It's hell being trapped in the hospital with no knowledge of what's coming. Wish I could help you. I'm sure we all do here.
I'm not a doctor, but I would suggest moving on to maybe lacosamide or Vimpat or Briviact because yeah, the Keppra ain't working. You need something to hold back that dam.
Yeah, the person didn't explain their mental health, but yeah, that's the thing.
Well, that's not even for mental health. It's to hold back the seizures. You know, because that's what they really do. Is with the medication therapy when they can't really figure it out, they try to build up the dose to see where your body can handle. And it's like building a dam to hold back the seizures. But
Right.
eventually, those breakthroughs will come through. And if they keep coming through, it's just going to make the hole bigger and bigger until
Yeah.
it's not holding anything back no more.
Right.
And that's what they felt about my Vinpat. And that's why I got moved to Xcopri.
Right.
How's that going for you?
Yeah.
I just titrated it up yesterday
Yeah.
to 50 milligrams. So,
Cool.
Is it a little pill?
huh?
Is it a little pill?
Oh no, that thing is
Let me see.
huge.
Oh,
I don't know if I can if you can see the difference. Let me see if I can get you a pair.
Yeah. Look, my Vimpats,
Look at this
2
thing.
milligrams.
This
2
is a 50
milligrams.
milligram of
Yeah. See,
Excopery.
he's talking 50. They were like, oh, go up to 4. It's fine. 4 milligrams. But of course, they're putting that on top of a
And,
bunch of other shit. So, you know.
Oh,
and in 2 weeks, I
Oh, wait.
titrate
No,
up
wait. This
again.
is the wrong one. I was actually showing the wrong one. You were talking Vimpat. This one's Ficompa. The Vimpat's somewhere else. But it's really low like that, too.
ugh.
Yeah.
pushing pills.
In two
Depakote
weeks, I
pills
go
are
up to
these big.
100 milligrams.
Man, I can't believe they go so big with the Vimpat, though. That's pretty big.
What are
Just
those,
saying.
Kevin?
I'm sorry.
Depakote
Whoa. How many
Yeah.
milligrams?
500.
Oh, wow. And how many times a day? Twice?
I forget. What am I doing with this now? It's 750 twice a day. I also got a
750
smaller
twice a
one.
day. Okay, so it's like 1.5 and 1.5. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Well, here's
I mean,
stuff to the
that's
cookie. Most of us been on Ventat before, right?
I got these little ones. The 200 milligrams twice a day. Lamictal, or lamotrigine, actually.
I'm going to put a picture up. This is a picture of Ventat next to the 50 milligram pill of Excopery. I don't know when it'll go up.
In the meantime, I got something that everyone can answer. It's not that many of us, but we can all answer this question. What's
yeah.
it like? What's it like having a hidden disability? I've had people look at me when I use the disability card to get on the bus at half price. You can't see me on it. Have you had people treat you oddly or say things you to you for the same issue? Yep. The first comment says, I get looks when using the disabled bathrooms, but I feel more comfortable as I've had seizures and hit my head on normal cubicles. Having a hidden disability, uh, it's hard when your family is the only person you're around. So that says a lot. I don't have to say exactly what happens, but sucks when your family is the only people that are around and you get that stranger vibe. You don't know me and you don't know what's going on. This hasn't happened for years in your face. But hey, maybe it's just me. Um yeah. Um
That
this hidden
sucks.
disability is rough. I wish it was just on my face, like he had a seizure. He needs rest. Or my eyes just were like, he's not ready to go.
Right.
Something. I wish there was a sign.
I know. I get.
Yeah, man.
It's just times when I'm like, I really can't do the mom thing, like the stuff I normally do. And I know I don't do a huge amount, but sometimes
Oh
it's just too
man.
much, you know?
I feel you. Like I love going out and doing things with my kids, but this wandering off thing has changed everything.
Yeah, that's
It's a whole
scary.
different ball game.
Hmm.
I can't go places with them because
Yeah,
they will
that's
follow
scary.
me and they're gonna follow me just because I'm dad and I'm
Oh,
saying come on. And
don't.
I'm not myself at all, you know? So yeah,
Yeah.
it just bothers me to take them places. It's not
Yeah.
happening again for a while till I get this under control or
Hmm.
I get somebody else with me.
To come with you, yeah. To double
You might
check.
end up in Mexico.
Yeah, it seems like the seizure I had the other day isn't as bad as the ones where I've been wandering off and shit.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like I haven't bit my tongue or like bit my cheek or mouth bleeding like that or hit my head in so long. It's just been wandering off, and yeah. I mean
That's
that part is
dangerous.
good to not have bit my tongue in a while. The mouth's not all messed up, but miss the good old days. Yeah, seizures just graduated from grand mal to whatever they want to call this.
Wandering.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it, wandering. I'm just going to settle for wandering.
My dinner's done, so I'm gonna leave y'all.
All
I
right,
was never
Kevin.
going to say that.
Good to know.
It was really fun tonight, and I'll see you Friday.
All right.
Well, I'll see you
Sounds
Friday.
good.
All right,
Bye,
everybody.
Kevin.
Have a good night.
You too. Stay well. I wonder who just hooked my dog up. Should go find out.
And then for 3,
And then there were 4.
4. I always forget to count myself.
Oh, 3.5. I'm kind of out of it.
Oh, Rick's
Rick,
gone.
what's it like having a hidden disability?
Well, I don't hide it. I have a bracelet, and anybody gives me a look or something like that, like, yeah, not as bright as yours, but it's still a good bracelet.
I made sure it was bright.
Right.
I was like, they gotta notice this bright. It's not a watch. It's just hanging around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's
I love you, bling.
Mine's a little bit more muted. I mean, it's a nice light color blue, so you can't miss it. But I make sure people know, and when I get out of the car, the passenger side,
Hey, Raven.
unfortunately, people, I let people know.
Hey, Raven. The question we're on now is what's it like having a hidden disability? And to me, it's like sometimes I wish it was just clattered on my face. Like right after you get a seizure and they're like, hey, can you put this IKEA table together? That's the times where I wish it was just like a stamp on my forehead. Yeah. But unfortunately, they don't have a stamp for that.
If only. I was actually thinking about this earlier today, so I have randomly have an answer ready. To me, it's like having a really big, ugly monster that just like is piggybacking me and hanging on like a monkey, and I'm the only one who can see it. But it's there all at the time.
Yeah, I look at it as like there's that friend that never comes around, but they come around. They're like, remember, I'm still your friend. I'm still here. Don't forget about me.
Yeah. Some days
Yeah, I
they're
wrote it on Reddit.
louder or meaner, but they're always there.
And those
I
times you
wrote it
see
on
when you're in the grocery
Reddit
store.
earlier.
Say that again, Angel?
I said I wrote it on Reddit earlier. It's a fucking time bomb ready to go off, but you don't know how much time you have, and you know what will trigger it.
Till you're in a grocery store on the ground. Anyhow, if someone says in the comments about the hidden disabilities, someone says trying to advocate for myself constantly in the workplace is so frustrating. It still actively affects me every day, even if I'm not having seizures. I understand that. Someone says, you don't look like you have epilepsy, is my favorite. Well, what am I supposed to look like? What the fuck kind of question is that? I understand that too. You don't look like you have epilepsy. It's like when I went through the gate for disabilities at the game. I mean, at the concert, there was no metal detector, nothing. She just patted me down, and since she was a woman, she was like patting with the back of her hands, and she'd even pat the top of my sleeve where I had my vape pen in my sleeve pocket right here. and she's like lightly patting. I was like, "What's this line for?" It's just like no gate, no nothing. She's like, "Oh, it's for people with disabilities." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's my line." And yeah, got to the front of the line, being that there was no line. Yeah, people don't use those to their advantage. Another within disabilities. Someone said, "Wow, I live in Boston. I rely on public transit. Never even occurred to me to get a discounted pass for my disability. Going to look into this now." Anybody else ever experienced false alarms where you get the feeling you're going to have a seizure and then you just don't? First comment says, "Definitely. I'll have a mini aura and get a light panic, but calm myself down and try to relax. If I'm at home, I'll lay down. If I'm out, I'll go find a quiet spot to sit down for a few minutes." Um, what I thought were false alarms were actually not false alarms. They were, what do you call it? Focals. I thought focals were false alarms.
Localized focal seizures. Yeah.
Uh, I think I was just having focals for this past 10 years, and I thought those were precursors. And come to find out, I was having seizures all along. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, when I got epilepsy maybe like 20 years ago, I'd say for the last 10, I've been dealing with the myoclonic jerking and the focal blinking out and wandering off and stuff. The wandering off has been the past 2, 3 years. So that part's different. But yeah, wandering off is no joke these days, especially when you're a big black man walking in people's houses.
Mm-hmm.
You tend to scare people without trying. Just happens like that. Yeah. Anybody ever want to talk about those false alarms?
They
I'm
usually
not the only
turn
one.
into they usually turn into a seizure for me eventually.
Mm. So your false alarm is like an early alarm.
Yeah, like sometimes the
Yeah.
fall, an aura is just like I can put that aura off for a little while, but it's probably gonna come back to bite me in the butt. And I'm gonna
Right.
have a big full one later on. Yeah, I don't like to ignore them because every time I do, really bad shit happens. Sorry, it's true though.
Someone in the comments says, "Yep, a lot. Hard to tell the difference between my migraine auras and my epileptic aura. It's so much fun sometimes." I love the attitude. Anybody else want to talk about these false alarms?
I don't know an aura, so I can't tell you about an false alarm.
You ever felt like you were gonna have a seizure and then you didn't?
No, not that I know of.
Mm.
It's either I'm seasoned or the
Sorry, that's
only
not
time
funny.
I did feel
No
like it
warning.
was when the only time I did feel like it was that one where I was on a podcast and I just felt an electrical current in my head, and I'm like, okay, I'm not taking a risk with this one.
Um, Rick, you experience any false alarms? Oh yeah, you told me you can just like close your eyes and say, "Go away for a bit."
Yeah, it's like no seizure today, not today. I got stuff to do.
But does it
It,
ever come back like the next day or at night? Does is when you put it off, does it ever come then later? Is my question.
pre-medicated, yes. Post-medicated, I would say no. And even before medication, it wasn't often. Like I could, nope, now's not a good time. Pray it away, cold water, get out of the heat, chill, relax, and then, I'm tired, but I can get through work or whatever else I was doing. But I wouldn't say, oh crap, I'm probably going to get one tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Hey, I got skills.
You do.
Hey, Mom, got my yogurt.
Yeah. Love the Greek yogurt.
I had to put some mangoes in it.
Mangoes. Makes me want a mango. Moving forward. Another comment says, yep, I had one today. I messaged my neurologist, and she's now increasing my VIMPAT. I was having an aura and immediately laid down. I knew it was coming, but then nothing. Yeah, I've had those times where I was like, yeah, I should go lay down. Nothing happens. Does anyone else feel like their epilepsy is no big deal? There's a lot of posts here about people afraid for telling their jobs, people who fear they'll get fired for revealing, people who has spouses that don't want to be with them, issues with friends. And it sounds so horrible to me that all of these people are experiencing truly gut-wrenching things nobody deserves, especially people with epilepsy who live having to manage constant increased amount of risk of dying every day of their lives. And all these discrimination fears I've never been afraid of or considered they could happen or experience them. So I'm left wondering if there's something wrong with me. Am I missing it? Am I the outlier? Is discrimination common? Is it where I live? Is it just the people who don't have problems, don't make posts? Am I just extremely lucky? Um, I don't say anybody's lucky to have epilepsy. It sucks. There's no lucky thing about it. But we go from the top. First comment says the thing is, it's not one size fits all condition. With the range of symptoms and medication side effects, some people are lucky and some people are unlucky. Online, you'll more likely to hear from people who are struggling because they need more support. Mm.
Or they want to support other people who are struggling.
Right. Someone else said, as long as I stay on the Lamictal, I'm functional. Miss 2 or 3 doses, and I may be cooked. Miss more than 4, and I'm doing the Harlem Shake on the floor. That sucks. Harlem Shake's a nice dance.
Who even considers missing 4 doses? Like, I would be freaking out. I've already had to have a fit at the pharmacy to make sure they gave me my next one, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Kill me.
Anybody think their epilepsy is no big deal? Opinions on your epilepsy not being as serious?
There are times when I think it's not as serious as opposed to depending on, like, yes, I can still do this and that with like freedom and stuff. But when it comes to certain situations like work, I'm limited. I'm highly limited because
Or driving, right?
driving,
Being
I,
independent
d-
in a way.
yeah, I don't know when my seizures will come at all. I, I don't have an aura. Um, I'm a big liability to any job, basically. Right now, I'm a part time caregiver, but that gives me an advantage because basically I get to caregive and at the same time, I'm being looked at too. So I have someone with me, you know? that can call 911 or whatever if they need to, if I have a seizure. But um it like it hinders the work life. It hinders a lot of parts of the work life. And I can't say, like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do that. I can't climb a ladder. I can't play with a chainsaw. I'm not saying play with a chainsaw, but
I know what you mean.
yeah, we can't do a lot of these things because we don't know what will happen, when it will happen. And it will be more dangerous in our hands than it would be in somebody without, even if they don't have knowledge of it.
Yeah, I got something else here. Go ahead, Sarah Mom.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I mean, that was like the big thing at the ice cream shop. Like, when am I gonna walk in the freezer and like have a seizure and nobody will notice for half an hour? Or like, we had gigantic knives for cutting the huge ice cream cakes. Like, I mean, like giant with two handles that you rock back and forth. And I was terrified of that thing after I got sick. I was like, I don't want to use this. Somebody else has to do this.
Even Pookie
Things
had
like
that scary moment with him sticking his arm in the fryer.
yeah, I mean, knives and fryers and freezers you can walk in, and walking in neighbors' houses. All that
Yeah,
stuff
that's
is really
rough.
scary,
There's
man.
like,
That fryer
there's
was
like,
rough.
yeah, there's days we're gonna be
Rough
good, but
business.
we don't know those days.
Yeah, stuff's tough business, man. That fryer, it was unforgiving.
But as to living a life, yeah, we can live a life. It's gonna be different. We gotta manage it. It's gonna be a lot of managing to do, and we can live a life. It's just, it's not going to be,
Exactly the same as
I don't want to
before.
separate us from, like, it's not going to be what most people see as normal life.
Yeah, you just have a couple of little itty bitty restrictions, like, you don't want to drive a car because you don't want to kill anybody else. It's a
Right.
good
People don't
reason,
get that.
you know? You- That's
Yeah, like,
my reason. Like, I know somebody who didn't have seizures for 8 years, drove a car, and killed everybody else in the other vehicle when he did have the breakthrough. How do you live with that kind of guilt? I couldn't. I couldn't
like,
I was
imagine.
getting my license when I was 3 years seizure free, and a breakthrough happened, and that stopped me from going through the final process of getting my license. I'm like, nope,
I
can't do
mean,
it.
I want to drive. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to. I love driving, but also I couldn't live with that guilt and knowing that somebody 8 years, and I've never gone very long without. I can't imagine 8 years. I I just couldn't take that risk. Yeah. But you can have a life for sure. Just different. You just got to rearrange your expectations, maybe, and your priorities. Like living every day to your fullest, what you are able to do, and trying to find the joy in that. Like in what you can accomplish and what you can do, instead of worrying about what you can't, I guess. Anybody, you guys think so?
yeah, I understand what you mean.
Both of you have had a long time to deal with it, longer than me. So.
Much longer compared. Yeah, I was a kid, so you were closer to a kid when I got it too. About
But
20
you were
years
an
ago.
adult already. You had an adult mindset already. Whereas me and Pookie, we were still in that pubescent mindset. So we still had some growing up to do.
Yeah, me, I didn't even understand it was a seizure. My second seizure when it was in class, like I woke him in the ambulance and he had a seizure. Um, I was just like, okay, I'm on the way to Stanford. My mom met me there. I was there for a couple of hours and I left. They said you had a seizure. Um, like I said, I went to that same class a few days later. They thought it was being in front of computers with web design too long. They thought it was that. 2 days later, I went back to that class and I had another seizure, and they were just so sure it was the computers. But they were just like, "You have epilepsy. You should drop that class." So then I dropped a class for nothing because, come to find out, I'm not photosensitive. So they didn't know what they were talking about, and I could have been making websites these days. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I told my mom that many times. Like, look, they did that test on me. It didn't trigger any seizures. I can play my video games. Do you remember my first seizure? I was nowhere near a video game. I was walking. Most of my seizures, I was walking somewhere or doing something that wasn't on a video game. But she's just like, those video games are going to cause you a seizure.
Oh, yeah, I get that a lot too.
Mm.
I'm not
It's like,
allowed to watch anime anymore because my husband's just convinced that anime is causing seizures. I'm like, come on.
Have you
did
had
you
one
see that
while
text
watching
I
it?
sent you?
What's that?
Did you see that post I sent you on Zoom with the Ronin warriors?
Seems like she hasn't.
I saw her Sailor Moon background and I'm like, oh, wait, I got a bunch of old anime DVDs right there.
Yeah, we have a huge collection. I have my Sailor Moon silk. I have about a dozen of those and probably 20 posters. There's in Orlando for some reason, there's like, I don't know what you call them, flea markets that's set up every weekend everywhere, and they all have anime stuff. I don't know. It's really, really
Yeah.
cool when we lived there.
But
Anyway,
yeah, I
Pookie,
found
you
my
look like you have a headache. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was reading too.
Are you sure? Because if you're
Yeah,
Yes, I'm
tired
sure.
and you want to rest,
yeah.
No, I'm sure. I got a nap in while we were talking.
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Mark had us educated for a while.
Yeah, me very educated. I was having dreams about what he was talking about. Uh, Good dreams, good dreams.
He's a smart guy, for sure.
He
Yeah, I
is.
love it, man.
I'm glad
Get
he's
to,
joined.
I get to learn a lot from him.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
it's amazing he knows some of the weirdo things that I know about. The sort
Well,
of off the wall things like stoicism, for instance.
yeah, I was looking into stoicism and stuff like that.
I got something else here. It says, how many of you don't have a real reason for your epilepsy? All of my EEGs, CT scans, MRIs always come out normal. Yet 10 years later, I'm still having seizures. I met with a few other epileptic people around at support groups, but most of them have reasons as to why they are seizing. Just wondering if there's more people on the same boat as me. And someone said the reason I have epilepsy is because brain go burr. Hmm. Someone
Rainbow.
says, yeah, okay, I'll put that together. Someone says, no reason. At 12, when I was first diagnosed, they said, you'll probably just grow out of it. 20 years later, and I stained the rug this AM, spilling coffee. Life is life. Right.
It
Yeah.
is, unfortunately.
I don't have a reason. When I was younger, I wanted to know why I did have seizures. I really did. I tried looking up, I tried asking the neurologist, like, why is it happening to me? Like, no one else in my family has this. No one has neurological problems like me. And, like, why is it happening to me? Like, I wasn't abused or anything, you know. I have a loving parent. I have loving parents. I, you know, I grew up great, and yet I have seizures, and that's about it. Like, I can say this, and please don't put this in the podcast.
Thank
Um,
you. Just let me know what to cut out.
my family, they suffer from a lot of health issues. I was the healthy one, with the exception of the epilepsy. So I was the basically the black sheep in that sort of way. Like, they all have asthma and all these other conditions that they share, but I don't have them. I was healthy with all of that, but I was the one to get epilepsy. And I tried, but then I just like, you know what? I'm giving myself more seizures trying to figure this out than just letting it go and letting it be. I have to accept it. I got seizures, you know?
And
It
yeah,
took a
I understand
ridiculous
that.
amount of time for me to find out why. All they knew was it's coming from a certain spot, and they kept looking at it, doing the tests, but it took like 4 specialists looking at the MRI before they finally figured out what it was. And knowing what happened doesn't necessarily make me feel better, because it's not genetic.
Yeah.
It's not a lesion. It's, hey, you can cut it if you
My
want abuse.
my mom
But
has told me so many stories of things that probably could have given me a seizure. I don't know
yeah,
what. Then the
yeah.
doctor, my current neurologist,
Hmm.
he definitely believes that the absent seizures were going on a lot longer than what could have been, probably into childhood.
Right.
And because he doesn't have that paperwork, I gave him the paperwork that when I got diagnosed and stuff, but he suspects that it was going on for a long time, and since it was going on untreated for a long time, it opened that hole into epilepsy.
Right. Yeah. It broke the dam, so to speak.
Yeah, it went untreated and unnoticed. And, this is back in the 90s. We didn't have a lot of information. poor family didn't have internet really, you know?
Well, I'm sure nobody thought what happened to you was anything.
You have was a doctor's word.
I got something here. One of the comments. It says, first seizure was the day I was born. I turned 26 this weekend, still don't know what caused my seizures. However, I have been over 15 years seizure free now and just hit 5 years without medicine.
Really?
Right.
Really?
Oh, man.
What kind of epilepsy you have?
Yeah, it just says it looks like he has no epilepsy. He's born with it. And 36 this weekend. Oh, nice. Someone else says, nope, no reason. I have adult onset epilepsy. Another member told me about 50% of us don't have a direct reason for our seizures. I struggle a lot with this. I was non-med compliant for a long time for this very reason. I'm also just a stubborn ass. I guess until they find out more about our brains, etc., this is it. No, you gotta advocate for yourself, man. This isn't it. That's what they want us to think. Someone else says, I don't really have a known case. I don't really have known causes. I just have generalized seizures. I've had them since I was 12, so you're not alone in that. I really wish that I could find both a cause and know the area in my brain in which seizure activity occurs.
So they've done an in-hospital EEG? Because that would be the first step to find out exactly where it's coming from. Well,
right.
Usually, I mean, like Angel was saying, once it's happened for so long, it can come from different places. It can get new pathways, can do different things.
Yeah, I know when mine first started, it started from the left side and then, but it might have, I say upgraded, but it feels more like a downgrade to go to full generalized.
Yeah,
Um,
I can see
I got one more, you guys, before we go.
that. Okay, sounds good.
It says, do you ever worry about intellectual decline? Since I've been having investigations for surgery, I picked up a few times that uncontrolled seizures can eventually cause intellectual decline. Does that scare you? I'm worried that one day I just won't be me anymore. I'm scared that if the surgery doesn't work, then all is lost. About that, you just gotta not give up. Gotta look for future 10, 20 years. I keep telling myself I'm gonna live another 50. You never know. But
Exactly.
you gotta have hope.
And don't worry about changing after surgery. And tell yourself you're not going to. That's the first step, right? I mean, I hope that you don't. And I think, yeah, keep doing the things you enjoy, I guess. Find the good in every day, even after surgery, and maybe that'll help you to keep, caring about the things you care about now, and help keep you grounded as to who you feel like you were, the thing you're worried about losing, right? I understand the intellectual, decline, worrying over that, I think the three of us have all been there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still socially declining.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. But
the word actually was not socially declining; it's intellectually declining.
Intellectually declining, right? It's
I feel that too.
Right, we're all kind of dealing with that
Sometimes I
brain
worry.
thing, right? You know?
That's why I turned off my autocorrect, because I was just like, I'm giving the internet too much power.
Yeah.
I gotta remember how to write. If I don't remember how to write, then don't remember my words, don't remember how to spell, then it's gonna look crazy when you gotta fill out forms without a computer or whatever. So I
Yeah.
learned how to, turn off autocorrect and just type things out.
You're
Otherwise,
braver than
I'm gonna,
me. I still misspell things, but you're braver than me.
yeah, I still misspell things too because I type so fast sometimes that I put an enter afterwards and I don't notice that it's should have
Yeah.
read that first. I thought,
Yeah.
my fingers were on point, but they weren't.
I'm
Um,
Yeah.
famous on Reddit for spelling VTGE.
Sometimes I type the
right.
same word twice and I don't realize it.
That too. Right. Mhm. Cool,
Raven,
cool.
Raven, you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
The question I'm at now is: do you ever worry about intellectual decline?
Oh my god, yeah, all the time.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand. Um,
I think, yeah.
since Raven is
Yeah.
back, you guys, do we have to leave now? Get a few more questions.
I could say
All right. Angel's always the last person. Me and Angel. Um,
I'm with you, bro.
one of the
Carry you.
comments says, huh? Oh, one of
I
the
said
comments
I'll
says,
carry you
You'll carry him
until the next copper gets me out.
until the ex coppery carries you out. Let's see, what time is it right now? Ooh, I got to take my meds in about 4 minutes. We're going to see how exciting I am after that.
I gotta take mine's an hour and 4 minutes. So I'm just trying to stay up till then because usually I'm tired. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be lucky if I'm tired tonight. I still gotta go eat dinner and all that good stuff.
Oh
Um,
dear. Yeah. You
Yeah,
know
I
what's
took
really
my
insane?
coffee at 10.
We don't eat dinner around here until 10:30, 11 o'clock, sometimes midnight. And I'm not kidding you. We have, you know, kids. I mean, they're not little kids, okay? I'm not starving my small children. They are two 21-year-olds and an 18-year-old and 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, but still, we eat super late Italian dinners, I guess. You can
that
thank my
sounds
husband's
awesome.
family for that.
That sounds like when I make dinner for my kids. Pretty late. I
Yes.
learned that I have to start cooking around like 3 and 4 because they're gonna be hungry by 5 and then 6 and all the way up. So I make enough so they can get as much as you want. This is
Yeah.
dinner over and over and so on. But
Good.
one of the comments in this says my biggest issue with this condition, I constantly worry about my early onset dementia and my executive memory degrading before then. Thanks to
Right.
it, Thanks to it and the medication, I've already lost about 40 IQ points and ceased to be the person I was before this started.
I understand.
Someone said, if this brings any hope to you, my aunt was epileptic too, and she lived to be 78. She didn't face any cognitive decline
Okay.
until more near the end. And dementia runs in our family. I believe it's important to have confidence in ourselves. I've noticed delusional optimism has been more beneficial to me personally than worrying so often. I've also noticed that family members who had hobbies such as sewing, crochet, knitting, etc., had less cognitive decline in
Puzzle,
crochet.
puzzles, books. Yeah.
I crochet and
Crocheting,
have
sure.
read up on studies and recommend others do the same. Never ever give up. You got this. We will have each other. Hmm.
Yeah.
Good way.
Agreed.
Yeah, I try to read as much as I can.
It's,
Um,
it's one of the hardest things for me.
I gotten back into playing a video game. There's one video game I bought that
What's
I
that?
had years ago. Soul Calibur 6. And the
Mm.
main reason I like it is not even for the video game part, it's just for the character creations because it allows me to create and use my mind in the art form.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.